Happy New Comic Book Day, everyone. My name is Greg. I'm Midtown's Marketing and Events Manager, and John, the Digital Marketing Manager, is behind the camera. So, let's get right to it. Let's take a look at all the new releases that came out today, because there are a lot of them. As you can see, the store is crowded, so we'll make it quick, and we'll give you some highlights. If there's a comic you really want to see a preview of, let John know in the comments. From Dark Horse Comics, got a number of titles. You got Tarzan on the Planet of the Apes crossover, Harrow County, Serenity for all the Firefly fans out there, and not one but two releases for all the Alien and Predator fans out there. Got issue 8 of Aliens Defiance, and issue 1 of 4 for Life and Death Aliens vs. Predator. And then we move on to DC. It's a huge day for members of the Bat family. As you can see, we have a new Batgirl, Poison Ivy on the cover. There's also a brand new chapter of Scott Snyder and John Romita Jr.'s All-Star Batman number 5. Got this great Declan Shalvey cover and also a very awesome Jock cover. Two great covers, and there's also a John Romita Jr. cover right here, the clash between Batman and Two-Face. It's preview time. As you can see, this features several villains, including KG Beast. If you're wondering about why this dude's so dangerous, go read 10 Nights of the Beast.
Did you guys get it?
Hey, was Silver Monkey in that one?
I'm not sure. During our interview with Scott when he was here for his signing, he told me there were going to be a lot of villains. I said, please put Silver Monkey, or there was Zeiss. Either of those characters. I hope they're in there. If not, totally understand. Looks like John Romita Jr. certainly had a lot to draw in that issue. We also have a brand new Batman Beyond for all the Terry McGinnis fans out there. And then we get to a huge comic today, Dark Knight 3, The Master Race, number 7, as you can see here. We have a Midtown exclusive cover, Gregg Capullo. There's also a black and white version, which is available behind the counter. Of course, that's recreating a scene from The Dark Knight Returns. Okay, a bit of a spoiler. Sorry if you're behind or if you're trade waiting. Alright, I don't want to give too much away. As you can see, there's also a Carrie Kelly incentive over there. And there's also a finale for the latest Detective comic story. We have the very talented Jason Fabok doing the cover there. He, of course, illustrated the first issue of Justice League for Suicide Squad with Joshua Williamson. He also worked on Detective Comics. And also the Dark Side War with Jeff Johns. So if you're interested in Batman's world, but you want to get to know the supporting characters better, Detective Comics is the book you need to be reading. Check it out. Probably don't start with this one, though.
No.
It's the finale. There are plenty of great issues. Obviously, nice homage here to the classic Superman and Muhammad Ali fight. John, you want a preview of this one?
Yeah, why not?
How can we not?
Again, done by Neil Adams, too.
Let me fast forward to the main event. I don't want to give too much away, but let me get to the brawl. Just to see Harley Quinn and Superman boxing. Bet you never thought you'd see that. Also available from DC, Blue Beetle number 4. Brand new story arc for Deathstroke. In the last 2 issues, he was at odds with Superman. And then we also have a Mary Flashmas issue from The Flash. John's been reading this book. He's caught up. I'm behind, unfortunately. John, let's say people are missing the CW show right now. Why should they be checking out DC Rebirth, The Flash?
So let's just think of it as this is future scripts for the show. So if you guys want to get an inside look, it is basically, it keeps it the same tone of the show as well. Let's see. It is a blast.
Alright, and from DC's Hanna-Barbera line, you got Future Quest number 8. It's also Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps number 11, Hellblazer number 5, and a very, very, very important release from DC today.
Which one would that be?
Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 2. This is a limited series. It's their first big event since the DC Rebirth launch. So let's give you a preview. As you can see, Maxwell Lord's team is front and center.
Nice.
I'm just throwing it out there, that is not going to go well for Killer Croc.
No.
A lot of people underestimate Aquaman. He is a heavy hitter. He could probably just backhand Killer Croc into the next state. We'll see how it goes, though. Joshua Williamson, talented writer. I'm sure he's going to make a lot of context in here to make each encounter fun. As you can see, Killer Frost versus Cyborg, Batman versus Deadshot. Now, they have a very interesting dynamic that some people may not know about. If you want to learn more about it, there are several great comics featuring Deadshot's origin and their clashes. Deadshot Volume 1 is a great look at Deadshot's origin. I think it's called, the trade is just called Deadshot Beginnings. Volume 2, action-packed and explores his family life. And then there are several issues where the two clash. Planet of the Apes and Green Lantern crossover.
That's going to be fun.
And Enchantress versus Superman. And look, Vic's here.
Oh.
Vic, what have you read? Let me correct that. What have you liked?
What have I liked? Justice League vs. Suicide Squad number 2.
Who are you rooting for?
I'm rooting for the team on the cover right here. I mean,
Okay, so Maxwell Lord's
Maxwell Lord's team. When's the last time you've seen Maxwell Lord except at the end of a lasso with a broken neck? So, 52.
Gregg Rucka's Wonder Woman, if you haven't read it.
OMAC Project. 52.
Okay, so
book
yeah,
2.
check that out.
The rebirth of the multiverse. I mean, whenever you're gonna see Jeff Johns, Grant Morrison, Gregg Rucka, Mark Waid, and Keith Giffen all in the same book together.
And we have the omnibus for that as well.
We do have the omnibus, yeah. This is, if you guys have never read 52, you're missing out. This was DC's first weekly series.
I'll give them a quick preview of that.
And it is some of the best stuff that they put out. Some of the best guys at DC at the time all came together and they just put out a really good book. And I would highly recommend this series to anyone that just loves old DC and misses, like, before New 52, before all the changes.
Before we move on from DC,
Yeah.
it looks like there's some other collections. New Birds
Yeah.
of Prey,
Birds
Chuck
of Prey.
Dixon, JLA.
The last volume before they started the whole revamping, before basically the 1 year later storyline.
Metamorpho, and looks like it's just the new 52, Gail Simone. Secret Six, yeah, not the classic Secret Six, or yeah, that new 52 Rana, and second volume of that. Very cool. And also Clean Room. All right, and some Doctor Who for all the Whovians out there. And then,
Basically,
Teen Titans, yes, I
Pick would
love
be Teen
that.
Titans.
Yes.
I love that book.
Speaking of Teen Titans, good news, Vic. Ben Percy, he'll be here for a signing.
Get out of here.
Yeah, March 2nd.
Alright.
March 2nd, we'll release the details soon about, when and where, but he'll be
Alright.
here for Teen Titans,
Oh,
Green
I'm definitely gonna have to go
Arrow.
to that. Let them know I love the book.
Yeah, and he's also writing a new James Bond comic. So
Which one? The Felix Leiter?
we'll talk about that later when I have a chance to Google it,
Oh,
because I have not
okay.
looked it up
Alright,
yet.
alright.
But no, it's a brand new James Bond series.
Okay.
So that's also coming out that week, the week of the
Nice.
signing. So that's 3 comics at least for people to get
That's dope.
signed. Yeah. So why should people be reading Teen Titans? I'm loving it, but let's hear from someone else.
I'm loving it because Damian is my one of my favorite Robins.
Yes.
No, all due respect to Dick and Jason and Tim, but Damian is
Stephanie
Stephanie Brown. Yeah, all
she
of
always
them.
gets overlooked.
They're all great, but Damian is like from birth has been raised to be a killer. So
Yeah.
he has that mentality already set in, and also Bruce Wayne's guidance is also conflicting with that. And this is just him basically forcing these kids to work with him, whether they like it or not.
Yeah, and Grant Morrison, of course, introduced the character, but then Peter
Yeah.
Tomasi and Patrick Gleason, they did great stuff.
An
fleshing him
amazing
out.
run, the Batman and Robin run from New
Yes.
52. They really fleshed out the character, and that's what made me love him that much more.
So I'd say Superman's probably my favorite comic, but this
Yeah.
is up there as well.
Oh,
Check
absolutely.
it out.
Yeah, that would absolutely be in the top 3 for me.
All right, and then we also have Action Comics, Trial of Lex Luthor, and Vigilante Southland, and a brand new Wonder Woman and Titans. So, big week for DC, as you can see. And also from Vertigo, we have Frostbite and Clean Room. From Boom Studios, new issue of Power Rangers. I'll avoid spoilers for that because there was a huge reveal recently. New from Valiant, Commander Bloodshot, a one-shot issue. Jeff Lemire, Clayton Crane, great creative team there. Give you a real quick look at it. And from Valiant, there is also Generation Zero, number 5, and Savage, number 2. Brand new series. Off to a good start. John and I both read it. We both like it a lot. Basically, think about what if two society elite people had a kid, and then the kid had to grow up on an island with prehistoric dinosaurs. It's obviously going to be a tough life for that kid. Not the easy lifestyle that his parents had. So check that out as well. It's also G.I. Joe, IDW Publishing right there, and a very important release today, Love is Love, trade paperback from IDW Publishing and DC Comics. All proceeds of this go to the people who were impacted by the terrible shooting in Orlando. Several brilliant creative teams took part to create stories for this. Once again, it goes to an incredible cause. So be good to each other, read this comic, check it out. Let me give you a preview. As you can see, it has an intro by the director of Wonder Woman, Patty Jenkins. I don't want to give away too much, so I'm just going to quickly flip through it just so you can see the variety of stories that you'll get in this comic.
Oh, you mean that one? I don't know. We hadn't said that? Wait, Midtown?
So what's the cover price? It's only $10, and all of it goes towards a great cause. So check it out. Also, Mask number 2 from IDW, Round number 6, Transformers Till All Are One number 6, and the X-Files number 9. And then we reach Image Comics, Scott Snyder and Jeff Lemire, 80 After Death Book 2. Do I really need to promote this? It's Jeff Lemire and Scott Snyder. Come on. That's all I need to say. Just, come on. That's all that needs to be said. I'm not going to ruin any of the inside by showing it to you. I'm not going to spoil anything. Obviously, 2 brilliant writers. And of course, Jeff Lemire is providing the art. And then we get to Top Cow, Cyberforce Artifact 0. But we still have more Image. New Deadly Class, East of West, Image Plus, which, if you're interested in Negan, this reveals his origin, so check that out. There's also some collections right above us. Star Trek, the classic UK comics from Aftershock. We have Rough Riders Volume 1. It's a lot of options to choose from. And then we continue with Image Comics. There's New Monstrous, 7 to Eternity. It's a lot, man. Snot Girl, Shudder. And then Marvel has so many releases today that it has invaded the Image Comics section. If you look up, lots of new volumes, number 1 and 2. Lots of the new Marvel series. Nighthawk, which unfortunately is not going to continue, but let's say you really enjoyed it or you want to check it out. Here you go. There's also the Thunderbolts, which has Bucky Barnes, or you may know him as the Winter Soldier, leading the team. Spider-Woman. Spidey, which takes a look at his earlier years. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. An Invincible Iron Man reboot. As well as the Totally Awesome Hulk and New Avengers. And now we get into the Marvel new single issue releases. Agent Carter, Great Lakes Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, and Black Panther number 9. As you can see, that's obviously a variant inspired by the Inhumans cover. Let's take a look at the new Black Panther.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Now, Vic is here saying Black Panther's good stuff. While people are looking at this, why should everyone check out this book?
If they were just amazed at how awesome he was in Civil War II, that should be enough.
Okay.
Pretty much. He finally has a book that's definitely worthy of his character, and everyone should just be reading it. It's month in, month out. It's just a solid issue. It's a solid book that Marvel's putting out, and there's no reason why anyone should be checking it out.
There you have it. There's no reason why you should not be checking out
Really?
Black Panther. If you disagree, come tell Vic why, and he will sell you even more on why you should check this out. It's also brand new Black Widow, of course, Mark Waid, Chris Samney, brand new Captain America, Steve Rogers. Now, V, before you help customers, earlier we were talking about the new Marvel releases, what we were enjoying a lot. This came to mind for you. You
Yes, it did.
immediately said Captain America.
Yes, I did.
So for all the people watching, why should they be reading this?
Well, it's a very interesting take on Steve Rogers. More different than we've ever seen before. I'm pretty sure everyone knows about the whole Hydra twist and how the Cosmic Cube played a part into that. And if you don't, then sorry. But it's a really interesting take on like how he perceives the world now, especially with the altered memory and everything. But
And I
it's
see
a good
Captain Marvel's in it as well.
Yeah, yeah. It's a fun little Civil War tie-in.
Okay. And the other recommendation was all new Ghost Rider, I believe, but we'll get to that
Yes.
soon.
Yes,
So we'll
we
meet you
will.
down there. There's a few other comics.
Indeed.
Yeah, so see you in a second.
Go for it.
All right. Also available today, Carnage 15, and then the biggest release by far for Marvel today, Civil War #8, the conclusion of Civil War 2. I think things go well for Iron Man based on this cover. Now, so no matter how you feel about this big event, if you are interested in the Marvel Universe, this is critical for what's going to happen next. I'm not going to show you a preview because I don't want to give anything away, but yeah, if you like the Marvel Universe, this is a look at what's to come and how things will be in a post-Civil War II Marvel Universe. It's also a recollection of Deadpool Too Soon. I believe that was a digital series, now collected in physical copies. There's also Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Supreme, #3. And now we get to another one of these recommendations. He's busy now helping a customer. Robbie Ray's Ghost Rider. So V, we're looking at Ghost Rider right now. You will have already read this. Obviously here it gives away that X-23 appeared in the first issue,
Yeah.
as well as Abby. So you've read this. I have not yet. Why should people check it out?
Well, the first one was a pretty good issue, but what I said was it didn't really focus on him enough. Like, it kind of included more characters. But this one delves a little bit more into Robbie, and you know, it's definitely, the writers were definitely more confident with this one, and it played out really well. I like the fact that we now have yet another Hispanic character repping in Marvel. But other than that, it's a really good book, man.
Cool. And is there a backup again by Trad Moore?
Yes.
There is. Okay, so that's something to look forward to as well. He co-created the character. So, all right, very cool. And have you had the opportunity to read Hulk #1 yet? This is She-Hulk's brand new series.
I have not gotten to read it yet, but I hear
Scotty
nothing
Young.
but good things.
All right, so let's take a look at it together.
Indeed.
Now, you have read Civil War II #8.
I have, yes.
As I said to everyone watching, it's important moving forward in the Marvel Universe. So, in your opinion,
It's
why is it a significant issue for the Marvel Universe? Of course, without spoiling it.
well, it set up a lot of things. They
Yeah.
put certain pieces into place that will definitely make sense later on. I feel like if you read each book back to back to back, you'll definitely appreciate it a lot more. Definitely not a bad series. Everyone knows that I'm a sucker for Civil War #2. But yeah, it's definitely a great setup for what's to come in Marvel now 2.0 and in the future moving on. And maybe even the cinematic universe. Who knows if they'll borrow some of those elements and add them into the movies. So,
All right, cool. V, thank you very much, man.
you got it, man.
And there's also a new The Uncanny Inhumans, and we recently had Charles Soule for a signing. I'm not sure if copies are still available online, but Inhumans vs. X-Men #1, he signed a lot of extra copies for people who couldn't make it to the event. So as you can see, we have plenty in stock right here at Midtown Comics Times Square. They may also be available over at Downtown and Grand Central. Be sure to call before you check it out, and check online as well. And now if you look up, for all the Star Wars fans out there, if you're still, on that Rogue One high, lots of relevant releases. Avoid spoilers, by the way. I had the luxury of seeing it without knowing the details of the final act. You should do the same thing if you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, then he spoiled it for me the next day.
You asked.
I did ask.
Speaking of bad guys, infamous Iron Man, Bendis and Malieve, and Matt Hollingsworth. Love that cover. Well, this is another one of V's recommendation.
It was actually my pick of the week too.
Your pick of the week. Get over here, man. Let's talk about it. So I've been really enjoying this a lot. I like how in the script Bendis even addressed there are more ridiculous things going on in this universe than Doctor Doom wanting to be a good guy. So let's say someone's skeptical about this. They're not happy to see another person take on an iconic mantle, especially when they're already an iconic character in their own right.
Right.
So what is making this your pick of the week?
Well, the fact that I love the first 2 issues.
Mm-hmm.
This one really kind of balances his agenda in the Marvel cinematic, in the Marvel universe.
That's all right.
Overall, got the movies in my head now.
We all do.
But it's just an interesting take on the character overall. Like, we've had all these years, the past, since the 60s, Doctor Doom has been a villain, and now all of a sudden he's turning over a new leaf. No one really knows what he's got on his mind, but it's definitely an interesting take. It's a fun ride. We don't know where it's going, but I love the way that we're getting there, and I highly recommend it.
Well said. I've been enjoying it as well. Definitely check it out. All right, there's a few more Marvel releases, so let's take a quick look at them. Moon Girl, Devil Dinosaur, 3rd issue of Prowler, and a big release for us as well, Rocket Raccoon #1. If you're excited about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, check this out. If you enjoy fun comics, check this out. And if you enjoy it, the writer of this comic, Matthew Rosenberg, will be at Midtown Comics Downtown, which is at 64 Fulton Street tomorrow being Thursday, from 7 to 8 p.m., signing copies of Rocket Raccoon #1, plus up to 2 other items. You can also get your new issue of 4 Kids Walking to a Bank signed, or maybe your Kingpin trade. So he'll be there for an hour saying hi to fans, talking to fans, signing their comics. John and I will be there. Be sure to stop by, say hi, and talk to Matthew Rosenberg about writing Rocket Raccoon. That's a huge deal. And be sure to ask whether or not, when working on the script, if he hears Bradley Cooper's voice while writing the dialogue for Rocket. Alright, so once again, Rocket Raccoon #1. Check it out if you love the movies, or if you just want to enjoy some fun comics. There's also a new Spider-Man #11. As you can see here, this focuses on Miles Morales, not Peter Parker. And we also have a Christmas adventure with Spider-Man and Deadpool. Let's take a preview. That doesn't make sense. Let's take a preview. A bit of a spoiler there, but hopefully you did notice if you're behind on Civil War 2. So relive the holidays with Deadpool and Spider-Man. It's a little crowded, so I'm just going to let John go forward. And as you can see, there are a few more releases. The Star Wars release. The Star Wars release has a brand new story with Yoda. So if you love Yoda, check out Star Wars 26.
All right. See someone in the box. That's what I'm talking about. Awesome. Yeah, no problem. You're welcome.
All right, well, that's it for this week. Get in here, Vic. Come on, man. All right. So, also, happy birthday to Stan Lee.
Yeah.
The world suffered a terrible loss yesterday with Carrie Fisher, obviously. That's terrible. And,
No.
And today, there's the celebration of someone else, Stan Lee.
Yeah,
so
the reason why everyone comes here to buy Marvel, pretty much.
I believe he's 94 today, right?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Man has lived He's lived a lifetime.
I'm going to celebrate by reading some of his classic Spider-Man work. It's also
All
first
right.
Fantastic Four, X-Men. Anything you're going to do? What should people read if they want to
Okay.
celebrate Stan Lee today?
His first X-Men, first Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Hulk, any of his early stuff. We have plenty of his daily strips that were in the Daily News. We have those collected editions. You could just read a whole bunch of those. If you're feeling really froggy, look for the Just Imagine Stan Lee, the DC stuff that he did. We have that as an omnibus, and you can find the original issues. I would highly recommend that too. It's his versions of Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, everybody, and it's really different. It's really, really weird.
Any final words for everyone watching?
Come on in. Let us know what you're looking for, what you like to read. We'll give you the best recommendations we can, and let you know what's new and what to read.
Happy New Comic Book Day, everyone. Remember to be good to each other and enjoy reading some new comics. See you next time.